My name is Jessamyn Stanley. I'm a yoga teacher, I'm an author, and I'm the co-founder of the Underbelly Yoga. What I love about living in Durham is that it is a truly diverse and down-to-earth place. I feel like there are a lot of parts of the world that are driven by power and the acquisition of money and resources, and that Durham really just feels like, even with the entrepreneurial hustle, it just feels like a bunch of people trying to make it, and it's humbling and it's grounding, and it's been an incredible place to bloom as a human being. I think the main thing that needs to change in our state around marijuana policy, because to me, I'm not really that interested. I don't care that much about legalization. I'm very interested in normalization and destigmatization. And right now, there is a ridiculous stigma around cannabis. And I would just like to see a huge shift in the way that we see the plant, in the way that we understand it collectively, and what it can do for us as a community, whether that's financially, whether it's medically, whether it's in terms of incarceration. There's just so many different ways that destigmatization, I think, can have a tremendous effect on the state overall.
Yeah, one of the things that is in my platform is decriminalization and criminal record expungement. Can you, yeah.
Yes, okay. I feel like decriminalization is the crux of it. You know, I think that a lot of the motivations around legalization specifically have more to do with monetizing and less to do with really trying to do some retroactive work on things that have happened, especially as it pertains to incarceration. And I think that there's no way to even have a conversation around incarceration without decriminalization. And I think that especially in a state with as many like private prisons and like just so many people locked up for not even just this, but things that are directly tied to this. And it's just like, I don't know how we're gonna have a legal market without tackling that. And I'm so glad to know that that's in your platform, because I feel like even whenever people talk about this, they're not talking about decrim, they're talking about legalization. And they're usually talking about it so that someone can get rich. And it's usually not someone who is locked up. Yeah. This is music to my ears. You don't know how I'm about to stump for you, for real, because I've been talking about this so much, because I'm just like, I can't. This issue specifically, I've said at least for a year, like, I wish someone would stand on this platform specifically in this area, because I feel like that people are just getting by on name recognition. And if somebody was like really here to stand for some that could like have large, I think there are other ways that we as a community can be more helpful, and that there's other things that need to happen in tandem to everything that you're talking about, but I'm here for it.
Did you hear about they're trying to make hemp,
yes,
hemp illegal?
Right, that's been the source of my frustration, is that it's like, how are they, especially like traveling, doing so much travel now in legal states, and really seeing like how little people in legal states will advocate for the illegal states where it's still illegal, like that they're just like undermotivated about it, and that also the conversation is not at all, it doesn't pivot social justice at all. It's just about, like, at a minimum, it's about medicine. And then even, so this spring, I was working on a project in Denver where we got a bunch of different people who work on cannabis advocacy in Colorado together. And in that, they were just talking about like how, they were talking about the states that they're focusing on now. The closest state to us was South Carolina. And they were talking about how it's all about medical. Everything is about medical. And I was just like, how are you not tying this to, specifically in this area, to the number of people who are incarcerated here? Like, I just don't even understand. And they're just like, it's like you can hear, I would say this, it's like you can hear their clenching when you even bring it up. They're like, well, you know, that's not the best way to go about it. And then hearing about this, because it seems like the ban, the smokable hemp ban, is like gonna go into effect in 2020. And I'm just like, so there's nothing we can do? Like, what's up? Like, they're literally trying to ban hemp. Like, it's not even, whatever. So,
yeah, because and the reasoning is because the police officers can't tell the difference.
exactly, that it comes down to law enforcement. And I'm just like, okay. So my thing about it is, why is the law enforcement not, who needs the education about this plant? Like, what is happening that you can still be using these like draconian, just like really outdated ways of thinking that, and I really think that the most important thing is to like, it's to have people in office who can do things and to educate everyone, because it seems like people just aren't educated about it.